With the start of every new year comes a slate of new state laws. Tim Shelley from sister station WCBU spoke with Illinois Legal Aid Online Executive Director Teri Ross about a few you should know about.
The legislature passed a number of kind of workers' rights bills. This is, I think, the biggest one and the one that's getting the most attention, and probably the one that affects the most people, honestly. And it requires for every 40 hours of work that someone accrues an hour of time off. And they can start taking that time off as early as, I think, March 31st is the date, or 90 days following once they start a job. So under the existing laws, workers aren't guaranteed pay when they're taking time off for sick leave, illness, childcare, mental health, wellness, medical appointments and the like. So this really provides people with a little bit of a cushion who didn't have it before.
Does this also apply to people who maybe don't work the standard 40-hour work week, if I'm a part-time employee, let's say?
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you are working full-time or if you're working part-time. 40 hours, for every 40 hours you work, if it's over the course of a month, you get an hour paid leave. And
that's just an hour for whatever, like you said, childcare, mental health.
Yeah, you can use it for whatever you want. Yeah, if you want to go for a walk, right? Go build a snowman. You can do it.
Looking at it from the other side of the equation, I guess, for employers, what should employers know about this law in terms of implementing it and making sure they're, following the rules or the law correctly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would make sure if an employer isn't doing this already, and most of them certainly do, having employees do timesheets of some sort and tracking hours is going to be crucial, right? Because you'll want to be able to show if you are challenged, right? You should have a good, clear record of the hours worked and what the accrual process is, and when does it occur, and when the leave is taken, how that is also recorded.
One other law that actually has gotten a lot of attention, and it was sponsored by our state senator here in Peoria, Dave Kaler, is this protection for children social media influencers. Now, I think some people are probably right now scratching their heads like there's children that are social media influencers, but this is a real thing, and it's apparently enough of a problem that there was a law passed. What exactly is this?
Yeah, so this is the first kind of law in the country, right? So Illinois is the first in doing this. It basically establishes a private right of action for child influencers, right? So the law requires that any video creator, usually a parent, set aside part of the money from the videos for the child. This law goes into effect July 1. And any videos with children on a family YouTube or TikTok channel or sponsored posts on Instagram applies. To get paid for the videos, you need to be under 16. At least 30% of the videos made by the video creator must have your likeness, name, photograph, etc. And then the videos need to make some money in some way, right? So there's actually some income being created.
Another thing which was kind of interesting here, there is a bill, Senate Bill 1913, and that would guarantee telehealth appointments for mental health treatment will be covered under Medicaid. Tell me a little bit about this and how that works.
Yeah, so I think the pandemic certainly increased our acceptance and the use of telehealth medicine just because we had to, right? And so I think there's a lot of positives for doing telehealth. People don't have to travel. It doesn't take as long, right? And not everything, of course, is should be done by telehealth, right? But there's an awful lot of things that can be, right? And this law is just ensuring that that providers, medical providers, get covered, that the patient is covered under Medicaid for those visits, because that hasn't always consistently happened.
That was Teri Ross from Illinois Legal Aid speaking with Tim Shelley of WCBU. Later this week on Sound Ideas, you'll hear from several Bloomington Normal business owners and hiring managers about how the new paid leave law is impacting their shops.